Yeah, as we know, transfer pricing is ever evolving. It's one of those fields, year in and year out, that we can always expect change. It's not like some other areas of tax that perhaps remain a little bit more constant. Transfer pricing, I find, it always changes. Either new countries adopting regulations or changing their regulations coming into the mix. We also see changes in how transfer pricing may be enforced. So it's never static. As we look ahead to the year 2020 and we consider the different areas of input, is it going to be the OECD continuing to lead the charge on this, in particular as it's receiving guidance now and further support from the G20, which is, of course, a bit of a broader group, and that doesn't capture some of those countries that are non-OECD members. For instance, India, Russia, China. So it's really the important players, if you will, when it comes to expressing support for the UN initiatives as well. Now we're becoming more vocal in the OECD context already. So where's that going to come from?
So a trend is clearly emerging in Western jurisdictions to adopt a stricter position towards emerging countries, which mostly are viewed as not applying in a fair way the tax treaties. And this means that Western authorities are looking to put some pressure, first diplomatic pressure in the OECD or in the UN discussions, and second, with the threat of withdrawing from a competent authorities procedure when, again, they feel that the treaty is not properly applied. So all this illustrates all these areas of concern and potential conflict that may arise in the next future.
Just one final point here, and Mark, you made a statement around the UN transfer pricing manual stating that, well, it's emerging as a guidance for the East. But probably another way to look at it is that it's probably it's more relevant because it's a guidance for the West as to how people in the East are looking into transfer pricing.
Transfer pricing is really viewed by tax authorities as a gold mine. I mean, they just make a reassessment, even if it's not fully successful from their perspective. Well, they think that it's going to always remain something of it. So that's really the situation where we are, and it leads to a very thorough analysis of transfer pricing transactions in Western countries.
That the governments need to really understand the economic realities under which the businesses operate, and they need to understand that multinationals are not sitting on unlimited piles of cash that they can go on and cut checks in every jurisdiction that they are operating in. But at the same time, and equally important, is for the multinationals also to understand and appreciate that as they venture into new territories, into new economies, their general sense of saying that one size fits all tax strategy probably will not work. And just getting back in the last statement, probably on the theme from me would be that it's very important for multinationals to understand and appreciate that East is really not West. So you guys have to do things differently there.
Just prepare for the change. As we've learned this morning or heard this morning, and we see throughout, right, this is going to affect everybody. At the end of the day, this is not just an East thing or a West matter. The changes are coming through BEPS or even outside of BEPS are affecting all countries, which means they're going to affect all multinational companies in some way. So we have to prepare for the change. We can't pretend it's not going to happen. It will happen.